all my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel, where we embrace our femininity, increase our womanly value, and celebrate our brothers. So join me on our feminine journey to learn, heal, and grow. Hey, how y'all doing? How y'all doing? Hopefully, y'all are doing okay. Let me see something real quick. What is this? What is this sharing that Microsoft wanted? Anyway, I don't like that. What is that? Anyway. You know, I was going to try to come back and say something else, but I can't. This is essentially a part 2 from Wednesday's live stream, where I was talking about how finished the Black community really is and why we're finished. And I don't want to talk about DEIs. I want to talk about our perception as a group of what is good, what is bad, what's negative, what is uplifting versus what is downgrading to us. Because when I watched the playback of that live stream to look at the chat and how people were responding, those were some of the responses. Oh, this is negative. We need to really uplift one another and things of that nature. And I want to pose a question. What does uplifting us look like? What does uplifting us look like? We are an obtuse, purposely contrarian people. We is hard-headed. The purposeful missing of the points. I pinned a comment under that live stream that someone wanted to come up and say, oh, so you want everybody to be like Candace Owens or something like that. And people was under the comments like, that's what you got out of that? When the reality is that I was speaking on Candace from the standpoint of we don't like to take information from people that we don't like, regardless if that information is true or not. It's that kind of purposeful stupidity, that willful ignorance that's got us in the position that we in. That's what's got us here. That's what got us here. And then people like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Crimson be questionable because she contradictory and, you know, we not going to uphold her neither. Don't. Because I don't want to be so-called upheld in the way that Black people like to uphold people. Because you hold us up until we get impaled on the spike, and I don't like it. I don't like it. That's why I said a long time ago, I don't like pedestals, because it make it easy for people to snipe you off of it. Please don't be nowhere putting me on no type of pedestal. And let me be clear what I'm saying too about that. Because we as Black people, we have a Jesus Savior complex. Because we can't just take the good that somebody may say or the good that they do without trying to martyr them. We like to take a person who may speak out on some issues that's relevant to us as a collective, and they may try to speak on those issues or speak competently to those issues in a way that get our people to think about them and maybe cause some change in the individuals that are listening. And we don't know how to do that without trying to make the person that's talking some type of, they gotta be perfect or whatever in every way, or you gotta agree with them on every point that they make. There are a lot of points just in the last couple of videos that I made that people didn't necessarily agree. That's fine. That's fine. I don't mind that. I'm not here to tell people what to think. I just want you to think. I just want you to think. I want you to critically think. But I'm not here to tell you what you must think. I'm here to point out how to think, not what to think. We so accustomed for somebody to tell us what to think that we don't understand when people tell us how to think. When I say we're doomed, what else do you want me to say to it? We don't even like to hear about the issues that we have in our thinking capacity as a group. We don't have good critical thinking skills. We do not. Individually, we may. Individually, we may have good critical thinking, but I'm not talking about the individual person. I'm talking about the collective group. We like to be dumbed down. And I've said this before, the reason that we like not being tasked to think about things, and I'm going to tell you this, also the reason why we like to put the burden of being saved as a group or helped as a group on one or two people that might have the guts to stand up and even say something about what is going on, or to wake the rest of us up in various different aspects, because everybody doesn't have the same aspect or lens that they're looking out of. But that doesn't necessarily mean that just because there are different perspectives that one is not the truth and one is the truth. We're too dichotomous. We don't know how to. We like to pile everything on one or two people because we think that that relieves us as a group from doing the work. So anytime we have an activist or a leader or just a person that talks, just a person that speaks and try to gain awareness to certain issues, we like to say, well, what are you doing here? And we like to nitpick at what they aren't doing or what they're not doing correctly, or how we would have done it, or how they have to be devalued because it's not being done this way, it's not being done that way, or what have you. So therefore, if that person don't conform to the group that doesn't know what it needs, mind you, because if we collectively knew what we needed, we would be doing that. And we would need somebody in particular to come and tell us anything. But we as a group of people are mentally, we're lost. We're lost spiritually. Like, that's how lost we are. And so when anyone steps up in any capacity at all, it could be any kind of capacity. It doesn't have to be this super, you know what I'm saying, I'm going to go out and die for the people in the street. Like, it don't even have to be that, but any kind of way. I'm small potatoes in the grand scheme of things. I don't even have 200,000 people that listen to me, that subscribe to me. So in the grand scheme, I'm actually really small. I don't have a super huge audience. But even so, I try to be as responsible with my platform that I do have as I can be. I try not to get up here and say nonsense or knowingly lead people down some type of wrong way, even though I don't consider myself no type of leader. I don't consider myself nothing but a woman that get on YouTube to share my life experiences and talk to my people from a perspective that I think will help them. Whether that be relationship things or what have you. So I don't consider myself like no type of leader or nothing. And I'm not necessarily just talking about me specifically, but how we think about anybody. We look for ways to discredit the people that come to help us. And in this way, the stories of the prophets are very meaningful. Specifically, Isa alayhi salam's story, Jesus, peace be upon him. His story in particular is a great testament. This is why I say we got a Jesus complex as a group of people. It's a great testament to how we turn on each other like that. Because they didn't like Jesus because he came to set the record straight. This concept of Jesus today as some type of peace-loving, laid back, he ain't make no waves type of guy, that is a false narrative. That has nothing to do with what Isa alayhi salam was about. He was a prophet of his time, which is a high station. If you ask any Muslim, high station. People cannot just be a prophet. You have to be chosen for that. And he came and he was shaking the table with the elites, with the leaders of his group, the rabbis and such. Not even so much the politicians, but the rabbis, because they were the ones who were learned in terms of learning how to read. They could read the scriptures and stuff, and they were tainting them. See, the common man couldn't read and was not allowed to read the scriptures and preach to people back in the day. So it was a certain class of people that were able to do it. And what they were doing is they started to finesse the people, because you can't read the book, I read the book. So I'm gatekeeping the knowledge. I'm twisting concepts. I'm twisting words here and there. I'm putting out certain thought patterns about what you should be doing in terms of worship. And I'm slowly turning that stuff around to where we can have a worldly benefit. And the people are misguided because they think they're doing what Allah wants them to do. They think they're doing what Allah wants them to do because we told them this is what Allah wants. So when Isa came, he knows, because he's getting revelation from Allah. So when he comes to them and say, no, you're twisting words, you done got all these traditions and customs mixed in with the law, you got folk doing this, you got folk doing that, you got people prioritizing it improperly. They was mad with him. When he went out among the people, they loved him. They loved him. Because he was practically helping them, miracles and things of that nature. But he was also practically helping them when they would come talk to him and things of that nature, his sermons and so forth. And he wasn't in no synagogue. He would be just out with the people talking to them, hearing about their issues, addressing the issues. And so the people, the common people, appreciated it for the most part. But then there were also common people that didn't like him because he was upsetting the status quo. And a lot of times, even when people don't understand exactly how the status quo is being upset, they don't like it because it creates an uncomfortable environment. Because he goes and he upsets the rabbis. They be mad with him. Because they done sat there and studied and this, that, and the third. And he can just come and correct all of them. And they be mad about the corrections. And because he going to do it in front of everybody. So now the folks looking cockeyed at the rabbis and the teachers and the preachers, like, wait a minute, he had to correct you from that? Thought you said. So now, because they mad, the common folks are mad in ignorance. They're mad in knowledge. They know what he's doing. That's why they mad. The ignorant among the commoners don't exactly know what's going on or understand that power dynamic, but they understand that the dynamic's being changed. And they didn't like that because he's the one doing it. We was cool till he got over here. Refusing to step back and understand that this man is here to help us, not only physically and practically, but more so spiritually, to help us open our minds, to help us understand what we have not understood. And so, yes, when the correction comes, it don't feel good. It feels uncomfortable because it is uncomfortable. It is uncomfortable. And what did his own people do to him? Now, as a Muslim, the Quran say that wasn't him on that cross, but we're going to leave that for another conversation. Let's take the Christian's understanding of that concept and that event. The Christian understanding of that event, as per the Bible, was that he was basically sold out by his own, not only Judas Iscariot, but who paid Judas the 30 things of silver. You understand? So it wasn't just Judas alone. It was the class that could afford to give him 30 pieces of silver. Because that wasn't no little piece of money back then. 30 pieces of silver is tough now. A real bona fide silver. They turned on him. They never liked him. And they consistently was talking to the people against him. They whipped up the people against Jesus. Spread all kind of rumors about him. You know, oh, he trying to be God. What? He ain't really the Messiah. That's where that lie even started from, because he is the Messiah. He is. So they started that lie. He ain't really the Messiah. He lying. He ain't really for you. You know, he fake. Who is he? He ain't really thinking about y'all for real like that. And according to the Bible and Christianity, ultimately they sacrificed him. The same people he came to. And they put that on the government, but it was really his people that did that. His people put him in position to be crucified. See, everybody want to point to Pontius Pilate and all that kind of stuff, but it was his people that's put him up there for that sacrifice. According to the Bible, he was crucified. He was beaten. He was arrested. He was beaten, tortured, and then crucified. His people did that to him. So-called his people. And then they eventually went back to what they was doing. And it was not just Isa alayhi salam, but the Bani Israel had a track record of murdering the prophets that came to them. They had a track record of that. Not just him. They had a track record of doing that. Think about that. The Bani Israel had a track record for deleting or trying to delete or in some way discrediting, driving out, exiling the very people that the Most High was sending to them for their correction and edification. Constantly. They were constantly doing that. Always trying to discredit and or do you understand? Anything from trying to delete the prophets to cursing them. The disobedience was out of control. And then after that, spread lies about them. After they were gone, they changed the history and started lying on the prophets of Allah, lying about their character, lying about what they were doing, discredit and dishonor their reputation. Do that sound familiar? After they were gone, after the revolutionary was gone, on some old get your hand out of my pocket type situation, after they was gone, then slandered them. To this day, slander. To this day, they slander them. Talk crazy about the chosen men of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. As if Allah would choose the worst among men to lead them. We find reasons to slander, whether you agree completely or not. We find reasons to slander everybody that even slightly tries to step up or do anything, any old thing. It don't even got to be something on a grand scale. It can be something small, and we'll find a way to discredit it. We'll find a way to make it don't mean nothing. We find a way to throw the baby out with the bathwater. And the reason that we do that is so that we can be exempt from doing the work. It was the same reason now as it was then. They didn't want to do the work. The Bani Israel of the past did not want to do that spiritual work because it was too hard. It was hard on the nafs. They didn't want to do that. You asking us to make sacrifices? Why? For some spiritual thing that we can't see? You mean to tell me at some point God is going to remake these old bones? You crazy. You mean to tell me it's going to be some magical day where we all got to give an account before we got to see God? You're crazy. You want us to not be taken by the things of this world when we live in this world? You crazy. But don't you believe in the Most High? I mean, yeah, but, you know, when has he ever told us to do this and that? We were supposed to be going to the land of milk and honey. We the only people cry about the consequences of the actions we take. The Bani Israel of the past that was following Musa alayhi salam out of Fir'aun's bondage cried and died every time Allah gave them a consequence for their actions. They cried and died about it. Why is this happening to us? You can't figure it out? You that dumb? Made you roam the wilderness for 40 years. And you were mad after that. A divisive people. We couldn't even cross the Red Sea together. You realize it was more than one split. Because they wouldn't walk across the Red Sea together. There were 12 for each of the houses of Israel, so that each tribe could go across on their own. After these messages, we'll be right back. We interrupt this cook for you to go and take a break and go to ashkicking.com, which the link is pinned to the top of the chat, to keep your skin looking and feeling and smelling its absolute best. You definitely want to pick up yourself and your loved ones. It's too late for Valentine's Day, but who needs Valentine's Day to look good and smell good, right? So if this is going to be your first order, please take advantage of the 10% discount using the promo code Crimson at checkout. Oh, you guys are bam, 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 bam. You got to hit the like button. Bam, bam. You got to go ahead and hit the like button for me. Thank you, Quiet Face. I'm like number 36. Don't be scared. Thank you, King Musa. I said, at the end of the day, some people will be left behind. No difference from the stories of scriptures. They are lost in a way that they will never change. Unfortunate, but we shouldn't destroy ourselves for the wicked. My point exactly. Thank you so very much. Thank you, HVAC. If the Messiah was alive today, he'd be the most hated human in existence. We as a collective don't like the truth. We don't. And thank you, Red Sigma, for your contribution. I appreciate you. And thank you for the cash apps that I received as well. So let me move on to what is upholding, what is being positive versus being negative when it comes to talking about Black people's plights. It is not negative to point out the truth. We don't like accountability. I got so many comments under Wednesday's show telling me how negative it was, and how I need to speak more positively about the Black community and things of that nature. When are we going to stop trying to feel good? And when are we going to work on being good? When are we going to stop trying to feel good? And when are we going to try to actually be good? Because there's a difference between feeling good and being good. And I realize that we are not interested in being good. We're only interested in feeling good. And that almost single-handedly has allowed us to meet our very demise. And it won't be but a handful of us. Won't be but a handful of us, and may Allah make me and my family among those that will make it, that do understand the truth, and that will be saved by the truth. But that addiction to ignorance and heedlessness and blindness. And see what we have. Somebody said it in the super chat. Brother King Musa said we shouldn't destroy ourselves for the wicked. And he spoke no truer word. That's where I'm at with it right now. Because see, we went down that road already. We went down the martyrdom road, and that did not produce a better result. It did not. It did not. I am very, very much of the opinion that those of us who are capable of helping our people see the truth, that we do that. But do not destroy yourself and your family for Black folk, because they don't care. They don't care if you do that. They don't care if you do that. They will spit on your grave about that. They are not going to hold you in no type of honor or anything. I don't care how honorably you try to move. I don't care with how much integrity you try to behave. I don't care with how much respect you try to have or anything like that. They're going to spit in your face. If you can help, but do not perish. Do not throw yourself upon the sword. Don't do it. Not upon the sword of because we Black. Not that sword. That ain't the sword. That is absolutely not the sword that we need to be throwing ourselves upon. If I am to be shaheed, that means a martyr. It can mean a witness as well, but one of the meanings is a martyr. If I have to have martyrdom, I will do so because I believe in Allah and they want to take my life for that. If somebody come along and try to take my life because I say La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah, I'll take that. That's the one I'm gonna down. But all that falling on the sword because Black folk want you to, I don't recommend it. Do not recommend. 1 star. 1 star. 1 star. Bad Yelp review. I don't recommend it. I don't recommend it. Like I said, you just have to draw a line. You can help because the reason why even with what I'm saying, the reason why I come here every day is because there are those who are going to hear it that will be helped. Somebody will be helped. You just have to know everybody ain't gonna like you for doing it. Matter of fact, they're gonna hate you for doing it. They're gonna hate you for doing it. But I don't even do this to see the change because I may not live to see any change. For all I know, my words ain't potent enough to change nobody. That is up to Allah. But if Allah wills that my words have a positive impact or not, mashallah. But all that falling on the sword because Black folk told you to do that, they're not gonna like you no more. You're not gonna be liked. Black people are not gonna honor you more for that. You can do all the help you want to do. You can do all that you want to do that you think you helping. They don't care. The collective, I mean the collective in general, don't care. They don't care. We just have to be, we have to be mindful. And it hurt because when you trying to help any demographic or group or anyone, even individually, you want to be able to see the positive outcome and impact on that person's life or what have you. You want to be able to see the positivity that come from that, because then you can see for yourself that your help, your support actually worked for them. But you can't always do that, even with the best group and the best intentions. You can't really monitor that. And this is why it's important that any good that you even think that you're doing is for the sake of Allah and not for the sake of people or what people may say or what you may get from that or anything like that. It's important to do things for the pleasure of Allah, so that you're not disappointed. And so that you do not become disenchanted and disillusioned. We are a lazy group of people. And I don't mean from a physical working standpoint. I mean, we're mentally and spiritually lazy. We don't like to do none of that work. That's some of the hardest work you will ever do. And it is also some of the most rewarding work that you will ever do. You will experience the fruit of that labor in this life and the next life. But we can't handle it. Collectively, we can't handle that. We do not like that at all. We do not like that at all. Somebody having to tell us, and whipping us into shape mentally and spiritually, we fight that tooth and nail. But we lazy physically too. It's all tied together, because when people try to tell you what to do to make money, because everybody is so concerned about making a ton of money. So the people who have a lot of money be trying to tell people that don't have a lot of money how to get the money. But then they always start talking about mental things, intangible things, spiritual things. Anytime you ask a wealthy person how they got wealthy, see, you be wanting them to tell you, well, I took a little bit of money and I put it here. And then I went and got this thing and I put it there. And then that's how I built a business. And then you want them to tell you that. But what they be trying to tell you is that that'll come only after you understand certain things. You have to do mental work. You have to do mental work first. You got to get your mind right first, because your mindset dictates what you get and what you do and what you don't do. You've got to get some discipline first. You've got to be, if you don't have any of that, doing the practical steps I did to get money won't work for you. You won't come to this outcome. And people don't be understanding that. They be mad at rich people when they don't tell them step 1, 2, 3, 4, when they don't do it like that. If you ask the vast majority of wealthy people, I don't mean like Elon Musk wealthy. I mean like, I don't know, they make a couple of million, right? They make a million or so a year. If you ask them people, they usually tell you they wake up real early in the morning. Even Trump will tell you that now. He wake up at 80 something years old. He said I wake up at about 5 in the morning, 6 in the morning, get up. Cause all that laying in the bed, all that laying around twiddling your toe, rubbing your feet together. Because what that does is it starts to instill some type of discipline. Get up. Get up. Get up. You can't do nothing, sleep in the bed. Get up. You're not gonna get nothing done, sleep in laying in the bed, flicking the TV. You're not gonna get nothing done. Get up. And most of the time, whether you like these people or not, or believe them or not, the vast majority of them say they get up and do some type of meditation or something. Some type of prayer, some type of meditation. They try to think, you know what I'm saying, get their mind working, Folk don't even like to get up. I can't stand getting up and don't make your bed. It's just something about that I don't like. I be mad when, like, if something go down and I done got up too late and now I'm rushing around and I couldn't make my bed before I left. Man, I be mad about that, man. I be low key like disgusted slightly. Because you got to come back to your unmade bed. So what is that? Because to me personally, getting up and making your bed mean I'm done laying in it. I'm done laying in it. We not laying in this right now. We not laying in the bed. We done laying in the bed. We done woke up. Now, you ain't getting back in it. Make it up so you don't be tempted to get back under the covers. Make your bed up. Make your bed up. Make your bed up. Go in there and take a shower. Brush your teeth and all that kind of stuff. Get yourself together. Get yourself together. For the Muslims, you get up and you make salat. Make fajr. Get yourself together. Read your scripture or something. Read your few ayats of Quran. Something like whatever you want to do. Do you some dhikr. Get your mind right, get your spirit right, get everything in line and tune, understand what I'm saying? And go in there and take your shower, all that kind of stuff, clean your place up before you leave. So you got to wake up on time to have time to do that. You can't be rushing around like a chicken with your head cut off all the time. You got to, you're rushing all the time. You're stressed out. Get up. Get up out the bed. Up out the bed. I know it's a little cold in the house. Turn the heat up. Turn the burners on. Get up. Because I've noticed it with my own self. When I get up, you can produce. When you lay around, you ain't did nothing. You ain't did nothing. You have not produced for the day. Remember them old Army commercials? Was it the Army or the Marine? I think it was the Army commercials. Said we get more done by 9 o'clock in the morning than you did all day, or something like that. They said, because they said we get up. The sister asked, do you have any advice for time management, like how to avoid being late? Lateness, believe it or not, is a value issue. And I've had to hold myself accountable to that in my own life. I've had to hold myself accountable to that in my own life. Lateness is not a time management issue, it's a value issue. When things are important to you, you get there and you do it at the time that it's said. From a more practical standpoint, the key is to go to sleep at night. Don't eat nothing past 7 o'clock at night. Stop eating. Stop eating. That isn't not just about weight loss and things of that nature, but when your digestive system is working, your body's working. It's working. So what you want to do is eat as early in the evening as you can. That way, it gives your body time to digest the food and then go into rest. Once your body can go into rest, you almost need like a routine for going to sleep. Something that tells your body, we're turning off. We're turning off. We're turning off. If you have children, put them on a sleep schedule, like a sleep routine. Okay, now it's time to brush your teeth. All right, now it's time to sing the sleepy song. You got the sleepy song? You want your little bell, your little sleepy bell? Okay. We going to the sleepy house. We going to the sleepy house. We gonna go to the sleepy house. Whatever. Tell them they going to sleep. Now they going to the sleepy house. We lay them in the bed. All right, y'all. And turn the lights down or however you got it set up. Right off the cuff, too. Right off the cuff. We going to the sleepy house. Come on, going to the sleepy house. And then put them to bed. And then you do whatever your sleep regimen is. If you're single, if you marry, your sleep regimen may include some sexual activity. I'm telling you, it puts you to sleep. Especially when you done got old. Used to wake you up when you were young, but see, once you get on in your age, it don't wake you up no more, put you to sleep. Don't eat or drink right before bedtime. Go to sleep. If you get proper sleep, and it may not be 8 hours, the point is not the time of sleep. Is Miss Francois still in here? Miss Francis? Is it Francois or Francis? I don't remember. I can't remember. But if you're still here, this is still for you. It don't matter about the quantity of sleep so much as it matters about the quality of your sleep. You have to go to sleep and wake up rested. Once you wake up rested, you're setting a time to wake up. But you got to set the time up here too, not just on your phone or your alarm clock. Set your time here. Get your mind prepared that we are getting up early. You got to tell your body what it's going to do. I know this sound new age and all of that. It sounds funny, but you have to actually tell your body what it's going to do. The body follow what the spirit and the mind say. You have to tell your body, we're getting up. And not just for the next morning. We're going to make a routine of getting up. You have to tell your body that. Okay, tell you mentally, tell you, even if you have to verbally tell your body we're waking up at 5 in the morning. Imagine 5 in the morning. Imagine getting up at that time. Go to sleep with that. That gets your body ready to get up. It sets your internal clock. Once you're up well before you need to get up, it gives you time to get your mind and your spirit and your energy geared towards your day. But when you wake up with just enough time, not quite enough time, that builds anxiety, that builds your cortisol, that builds your stress. You tell your body to stress out about it. And then you come to dread the things that you have to do. And when you dread what you have to do, you drag your feet to them. And you get there late because you wasn't trying to get there at all. You don't want to do it. You don't want to be there because it already drove your anxiety up. You're already stressed out. So now you don't want to do it. That's how you keep yourself from being stressed out and anxietied out for the things that you have to do throughout the day. Once you give yourself time, don't let that stuff worry you. It'll get done. You'll be there. You'll recognize you start getting stuff done on time. With time to spare. With time to spare. I hope that was helpful. Because the Muslims have Fajr, but we're actually encouraged to get up before that and make the Hajj. Oh, Allah got it set up. Get up before Fajr. Before Fajr you come in. Get up and make salat. Make 2 rakats. Make 2 rakats at the Hajj. Let that be your meditation time. Oh, Allah know what He's doing. Allah know what He's doing. But you're going to have to go ahead and get up. Thank you, Train to Live. So we are a product of a hedonistic culture. Thank you once again, Brother King Musa said, Lut, Musa, Isa, Muhammad, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. No prophet could save all of their people, but the wise can see the ones who could use a little push. Isa said, he who has an ear, not all can hear, deaf, dumb, and blind. Mashallah. Oh, I didn't give you. Thank you, Guy Incognito said, much respect to you for trying to reach women. Thank you again. HVAC said, Dank Demas is a result of not having discipline. I got a video coming up about her tomorrow. Thank you, Magnus said, bless your soul for speaking the truth. Thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you again, HVAC said, I get up at 4:40 and run 3 miles. It starts when you get up. Exactly. Thank you. Anissa said, did God make us black slaves because we were disobedient and spiritually lazy? Is it genetic? That's slavery. And anytime that Allah give us a punishment, if anybody a punishment, it'd be because of disobedience. Oh, you don't want to do it? Okay. Then I put somebody over you. It's an adab. Can't nobody, adab is an Arabic word that means a punishment, but a divine punishment, a punishment from Allah specifically. And I definitely am of the personal opinion that the transatlantic slave trade and those who were caught in that was an adab from Allah. There was a lot of Muslims in that too. There's an adab. Thank you, Siobhan. So I shared your video with someone. They said it was too long, but in the same breath said we need change. We don't even want to listen long enough to hear a different perspective. Keep fighting. Thank you, Miss Siobhan. I appreciate you. Thank you again. Magnus said, if you are late, your priorities are trash and you know it. Thank you, Pharaoh Ismail. Said, at this point, Black people who are aware your legacy in life isn't limited to Babylon need to leave. Tired seeing people lose jobs because of kaiju. Not a, he said a kaiju. A kaiju? A kaiju, beloved? You mean a kaiju like off of oh, Pacific Rim. I like that movie. That's my movie right there. That movie too funny. Like a kaiju, like the big fat gorilla kaiju. That one in particular, I was very specific. That one. Okay. Anyway, I'm going to get on up out of here. I love y'all. Okay. I love y'all. I love y'all. I love y'all for the sake of Allah. And I love y'all for the pleasure of Allah. May Allah protect me and you from any negative thing or any misinformation that I may say to y'all, because that is not my intent. And may Allah give only the good out of what I say. Whatever I say that is good is from Allah. Whatever I've said that is bad is from my nafs. All right. Jump down in the comment section. Oh, before we go, I think I need to remind people. Of some things. I need to remind everybody that you can go to crimsoncure.com and everything that you need from me can be found on crimsoncure.com. If you need a coaching session, all you have to do is go to crimsoncure.com, hit coaching session, and you have the option of a 2-hour or 1-hour coaching session that you can go through and set your own time from the available times. Okay. You can also go and get your women's apparel, t-shirts, and things of that nature. You can also get your men's apparel, hats, t-shirts, things of that nature from the website directly. And last but obviously not least, you can also purchase the book, Reclaiming the Black Feminine, directly from crimsoncure.com. Okay? I want to thank you all. So jump down in the comment section, like, share, subscribe if you have not. Okay. Once again, this was my perspective, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Bye-bye, Crimsonites.